Galamsey is one conversation that we'll continue to have a number of times here on Sunrise, but there's a special reason why it is red hot today, because the NIMOS team was attacked. There are allegations of a sitting member of parliament leading thugs in that direction to do that. And this morning, there's a lot of pressure for there to be some arrests and also some word from the presidency and as well the national executives of the NDC.
So this is a story. The NIMOS team, they were around the Ahafu area, and the mission was to identify a place for the permanent deployment of a NIMOS field task force in line with the strategic secretariat's plan to sustain anti-illegal mining operations. We know that in those areas there are a lot of illegal mining operations there. So while traveling along the Gosu to Hudium highway, the director of the team, his attention was drawn to an excavator engaged in illegal mining along the roadside near the place is called Bronikrom. Now, what we also know is that this illegal mining operation was happening just 10 meters from a main highway.
10 meters? It's not far away.
It means when the highway, you look left, you'll find it.
Yeah.
It's just there. You don't have to look far.
Oh, but right now, the Galamsey is happening on the roads and under the roads. So now they don't go inside.
When I recall, was it last year, Ibrahim Konongo, just by the road.
By the road.
So when the team saw it, they diverted to the location as was expected of them. And then when they went, they apprehended several individuals who were actively mining. It was not that the place was a prayer camp. It was a mining site. They were mining there. The director instructed the suspects to refill the pit they had dug to prevent further environmental degradation because the machines they were using were still there. So he told them that, boys, we are coming to arrest you. Fill the place first, then we'll arrest you. Now, the director then ordered one of the arrested persons to call the site owner because the people they have arrested certainly are not working alone. So he said, call the site owner. After a few calls were placed, the first individual to arrive, he identified himself as a defense intelligence representative from the Ahafo region. Defense intelligence rep from the Ahafo region.
Was there a name provided?
No, we don't have a name.
No name.
We don't have a name for that yet. Shortly after, an individual named Alex arrived in a Toyota RAV4. When that Alex came, he started, according to the story, arrogantly claiming ownership of the site. A third person arrived. Another man arrived later in a Range Rover and was also arrested. Now, while at it, the NIMOS Field Task Force set ablaze the shelters that were being used for the illegal mining operations. The shelters were used as offices and shelters by the illegal miners. After that, the team decided to search the suspects who have been arrested. A discovery was made. The team found one Smith & Wesson pistol, a gun, 2 pistol magazines. You know what a gun magazine is. And then 21 rounds of 9mm ammunition. 12 assorted mobile phones were also discovered. A black side bag and cash amounting to 11,000 Ghana cedis. They also found a power bank and a Lexus ignition key. So while arrangements were being made to convey the suspects that have been arrested as well as the others who have come to claim ownership of the sites to the Hudium police station, listen to this. The Member of Parliament for Nsutifi North, Ebenezer Kweku Addo, he arrived at the scene, and then he did not come alone. According to the story, he came with several thugs. This Ebenezer Kweku Addo indicated that his presence there is because he was sent by Honorable Collins Dauda, MP for the area, and then demanded that the director releases the arrested kingpins, including the Burkinabe, immediately, and then remove their handcuffs. He argued that he did not want the locals to see them in handcuffs. He did not want the locals who have been arrested by the NIMOS team to see them in handcuffs. But the director of the NIMOS team declined.
That's Colonel Bois.
He said that it is a lawful arrest you have made and your request is unlawful. He said the arrests were appropriate and that the right procedure be followed through the police. If you want to release them, go to the police station, go to look for bail, that kind of thing. So the MP and the thugs became violent, according to the story. And then they forcefully snatched the handcuffs keys from one of the soldiers and took the handcuffs off the Kimpings before chasing the NIMOS team whilst going to the police station. Upon arrival at the Hridium police station to lodge a report and hand over the suspects and exhibits, a crowd of about 600 people from Hridium and nearby communities surrounded the station. The story says that the mob, incited by Honorable Ebenezer Kweku Addo, demanded the immediate release of the arrested suspects and the seized vehicles, and then warned that they would discipline the soldiers if their demands were ignored. Immediately, the situation turned more violent. The director of operations, his Toyota Hilux pickup was vandalized. The mob threatened to burn down the police station, their own police station in the community. They said because of these people, we'll burn it down. And then even when the MP was reminded to call, the story says, his mob to order, that did not happen. The tense standoff created a serious threat to life and property, placing immense pressure on both the director of operations and the police officers on duty. Responding to a distress call, the chief superintendent, Prince Odum Kodia, the Aboriginal crime officer, he led a 15-member regional task force headed by Inspector Ofosu to reinforce the local police, because the people say we are coming to burn the place down if you don't release the people. They were supported by superintendent. His name is John Atanga. He's a divisional commander for Goso. Superintendent Opoku Yamwa, the district commander for Kenya, and other senior officers, they all came there. Now, even with the reinforcements, the atmosphere remained extremely volatile. Remember, we're talking about some 600 mob. The Zongo chief of Hridium, his name is Alhaji Muhammad Bashiru. He stepped in and then he appealed to the crowd to remain calm. Remember, the MP was there.
He wasn't urging calm.
He did not. The story did not say the MP appealed to anything. The MP, he says that if you don't do it, we'll discipline you. As night approached, power went out, and then tensions heightened further. You know that in these instances, where light off comes now,
it becomes even more dangerous for the people who are wanted, the people they want to lynch and all of that.
I mean, even with lights, they are looking for you, and light is not there. You die finish. The story continues to say that to prevent bloodshed and protect lives, a joint decision was made by the police, the military, and the Zongo chief to release the keys of the seized vehicles in order to calm the crowd. The Zongo chief then offered his Toyota 4x4 to evacuate Kenobwa, the director of operations, and his officers to safety at the Newmont site in Kenya under police escort. In the videos that we've seen on social media during the evacuation, the soldiers were physically attacked, and the chief's vehicle's rear windscreen was shattered. Thankfully, no injuries were recorded. That is the story, as has been reported. The director of operations said the MP's actions to influence the release of the suspects were unfortunate and a serious obstruction of NIMO's operations. And then he emphasized that the fight against illegal mining requires all citizens, especially influential figures in the society, like a member of parliament, to act on the side of the law not to shield offenders or incite rogues to obstruct justice, as happened at Hwidim. But Naimo says that still 10 toes down, they will do what is right.
And we'll get into the conversation, but Awula Sewa is co-coordinator of Eco-Conscious Citizens. She's joining us over the phone line as well. Awula, thank you very much for joining us here on the 3FM Sunrise. And my colleague Crosby, as well as Sixus, they're all here. We're trying to wrap our heads around what it is that has played out from the weekend, and he's been going through the details again for us. Where does this leave us? When I say us, I mean all of the citizenry, the government in itself, who say that there's an active fight against Galamsey. NIMOS is clamping down on the activities of illegal miners, where a sitting member of parliament on the ticket of the NDC is alleged to have accosted the NIMOS team, which undertook a successful operation, demanded the release of arrested individuals, called in thugs, and incited an entire community against the NIMOS team.
Yes, I mean, what we need to know is that if we want to end this menace, we need the political will to do so. Under the past administration, things were not moving forward because people close to the administration were allegedly involved. Nothing has changed. Ghanaians did not vote for musical chairs, but this has been ongoing. I think that the IGP's task force was also attacked by thugs. What needs to happen to show that there's a political will is that the MPs named should be promptly arrested. They should be suspended from Parliament, and thorough investigation should take place. And if the facts so deem it right, prosecution should take place. Unless we act swiftly and decisively when persons close to the administration are involved, this is going to continue. And it's going to give the impression that there's no serious fights going on. As we speak, a person by the name of Joki, who claims to be closely associated with the current administration, is allegedly involved in illegal mining in Atronsu and has threatened activists. The matter has been reported to NAMOS through third parties. There are currently, according to our information, 4 excavators in Atronsu, and the community is afraid because any illegal mining will threaten the only source of drinking water, the Atronsu stream. But no action has been taken yet, although reports have been made. We commend NAMOS for what they are doing, but we are saying that His Excellency the President needs to ensure that prompt action is taken against the thugs immediately, and the 2 MPs named should be arrested. I know you are innocent until proven guilty, but they should be called to the police station to help the police with the investigation.
I mean, to the extent that since this happened, we haven't gotten any word from the executive. NIMOS is yet to release any statement as well. The party, that's the NDC as well, has been quiet. Some say we should have seen very swift condemnation on the back of the reports and the NIMOS team in itself confirming these alleged claims.
Absolutely, you are spot on. But the silence speaks volumes, and the silence makes people question the political will. How would an MP behave with such impunity unless he believes he'll be protected? How else would he behave with such impunity? What are the police doing? Are they waiting for the IGP to direct them to arrest them? You see, what is going on is frightening. It shows that there's complete lawlessness, and if you believe you are well connected, you can do what you like. But we need to have some hope. So we are calling on His Excellency the President to ensure that swift action is taken. Swift action is taken before the close of days. These MPs and the thugs involved should be arrested. Otherwise, what is NAMOS doing? If they can be attacked, and as you said, there's silence from the leadership of NAMOS, and the President or no duty bearer has spoken out to condemn this I can't even find the word. It's unacceptable action. And what kind of message is it sending? What kind of message is it sending? Is there really a fight going on, or are we just engaged in smoke and mirrors?
And I mean, there are those who ask the question and perhaps probe that should NIMOS had been there in the first place in terms of what it is that they were doing, because they were from one operation, were returning to their base when 10 meters away they saw the activity currently ongoing, amongst many other things. Where do you stand on those who say that perhaps there should have been a reinforcement before this arrest was made, and why we didn't even get them radioing for reinforcement when they face a threat?
You see, there's been a complete breakdown of law and order. I mean, it's very easy to be wise after the event. Obviously, when they saw it going on, they had no way of foreseeing that there would be complete disrespect for law and order. So they've seen something, they've seen a crime in progress, and they decided to act. One cannot blame them. With hindsight, it's so easy to speak with hindsight, but I don't think anything wrong. When they saw a crime being committed and decided to go and investigate. And it's just unfortunate that a sitting MP would allegedly call it a mob to come and stop NIMOS from doing its work. That is why the silence is just unacceptable. It's 8:43 in the morning. By now, there should have been decisive action taken. The slowness in responding speaks volumes, and we have to, civil society, all those interested in putting an end to this mayhem, have to speak out and say enough is enough. Discipline the MPs involved. They should be suspended from Parliament and they should face prosecution.
To the extent that this is not the first time we're having members of Parliament named in the activities of illegal mining. I know under this administration, there's been a report or a petition that's been conveyed to the Speaker over a member of Parliament in the western part of the country, amongst many other things. The inaction of
Parliament. I have to go now. The inaction shows a lack of political will. So we are appealing to the president to show that they are actually interested in stopping out illegal mining, and they are not just playing to the gallery. Thank you so much for having me.
Right, Awula, I appreciate you as well for joining. And she says she has to go, but that's Awula Sewa making her thoughts known quite briefly with respect to what it is that we've seen play out. And Crosby and Sixes are still with me in the studio in relation to this particular matter. Awula Sewa has made her point very clear that the loud silence is one thing that should not be allowed to go on. Even I am surprised, I'll be very honest, that we haven't gotten any action or anywhere just as yet. Is it a matter of awaiting confirmation, or it is a case of we're looking for the right things to say so as not to make the government look bad? What I expect, and when the president addressed the media or even addressed civil society groupings, he stated clearly that he doesn't benefit anything from Galamsey. And so he doesn't know why he would defend anybody who is engaged in the activities of Galamsey. This is the time that we need the president to actually show that he doesn't benefit anything from Galamsey, and decisive action ought to be taken in relation to these matters.
See, this cannot be countenanced in any form, especially when it involves the names that have been mentioned. A certain member of parliament. The one that pains me cry is a first-time MP. So we know that President Mahama has already warned that any government official or member of the ruling party caught in any act of illegal mining, that person would be made to face the law regardless. Now, there was also the outdooring of the Code of Conduct for government officials. And that Code of Conduct supposedly should outline possible punishment to be meted out to officials who misconduct themselves. If this is true, does it fall under misconduct? If yes, what is the punishment? If these two are anything to go by, then what everybody is saying is true. Swift intervention from the president to investigate the claims, investigate what happened, and then condemn the actions of the Galamseyers, but most importantly, condemn the attack on the NIMOS boss and his team by the thugs, allegedly led by this man, the Ebenezer Kwekwado, who said that, again, the reports are saying that he allegedly said he was acting on the orders of Alhaji Collins Dauda. Plus, Parliament should be involved in this. Crack the whip on its members. The Speaker should be interested. He must condemn this act and call for swift action from government. But, I mean, I don't even want to go there because Parliament itself, it has not done itself a lot of good. I mean, we're waiting for feedback or punishment to the MPs who were raising tables and all of that during that entire process. We're still waiting for...
yeah, I mean, it's a very serious issue.
You raise tables, with that one cry, I've not heard anything. This unfortunate comment passed by whoever we don't know about Zenato when she was speaking in Parliament. The daughter of a murderer comment, that one to Yamutu. And they want to add, so Parliament itself, these things, I don't trust it like that. So something needs to happen. If it's not true, investigate and tell us that what the stories we're hearing is not true.
No, when there are videos you investigate, or the videos will say it was doctored, or it was investigated and it was the NIMOS team rather which was attacking individuals, hence the mob were angry and were coming after them. I mean, sometimes, I understand investigations will reveal a lot of things.
Yes.
But sometimes when we enter into certain realms, investigations,
the truth is there.
Yes,
you are looking at it.
You are looking, unless maybe the names mentioned perhaps will come around, and even that it will create so much doubt in the minds of the ordinary Ghanaian that something that we also
this is just like it presents a very good case for government action on illegal.
Show us that you are actually fighting the Galamsey.
Yes. If you don't,
it can't be any other way.
If you don't deal with this one, then
because with the way I'm thinking, actually, this if the government were to take action in relation to this matter, will score them points on several levels.
Yeah.
In fact, the Attorney General has said he will not spare any government official or person associated with the NDC who engages in any act that breaches the law. He mentioned corruption, but I'm expanding the threshold to say any act that breaches the law. Do you know what this will mean for the government fight against corruption, oral, and good governance when they are able to hold these individuals named in this latest Galamsey, whatever it is that we can call it, and there's some decisive action taken? That will mean that persons will sit up within government and say that, hey, if they've done this to this person, who am I?
Yeah.
You get it. So it's very important that some decisive action is taken, and taken very swiftly.
Yes, I agree that the Member of Parliament should be picked up. Esutifi North. I'm looking for his name. I don't like the way we are not mentioning his name. Ebenezer Kweku Addo. He has a lot of questions to answer. He showed his face there, claiming he was sent by another Member of Parliament. Long-standing Member of Parliament for Esutifi South, Collins Dauda, Minister of State, a very respected voice and face in the NDC, somebody who carries a lot of weight and should be supporting the president's efforts. And so the Esutifi North Member of Parliament should be picked up. He should give his statement and evidence of the involvement of the Esutifi North South MP, and he should also be questioned. And the presidency must deal with this matter to demonstrate
very quickly.
Yes, to demonstrate that indeed some action has to be taken. I understand that the Honorable Collins Dauda is a powerful man in the NDC. And if we want to feed some meat to the hungry dogs, we cannot let this slide, especially that law enforcement officers, look, soldiers were attacked in the process. And I want to commend the soldiers, the military men on the ground that day. Look, if they had not acted professionally, if they had responded it wouldn't have been an easy thing. By now, the story would have
been
changed.
Bloodshed everywhere.
The story would have changed. We wouldn't have been talking about tax invading police station and threatening. And no.
We'll be saying.
And I saw people on Facebook saying policemen brought in to save military men. Look, let's stop that thing. The military men, it's not that they couldn't handle themselves. They were acting by certain rules of engagement. 8 military men. You think they couldn't have acted?
It was just yesterday that the deputy defense minister told the military people to act within their rules.
Yes, exactly. If the 8 of them wanted to deal with that situation, they would have brought order to that community. Let's be honest.
And by the way, it's not too late for them to go and bring order.
No, we beg.
I beg you.
Please, I take it back.
We beg. We beg you, don't go back. We are saying something for you. Don't
go back.
Allow us to say something for you. Don't go back.
I mean, yes, that's just why.
Look, if the 8 of them wanted to deal with the situation there, it would have been disastrous. There were 8, not 1, not 2, 8 of them. 8 fully trained, fully armed military people. Let's not joke with it.
And I'm sure they are trained in these instances because they know what they are doing is a tough job they are doing. Away from them being military officers, the duties that have been assigned to them, they have received special training to deal with instances.
These things, yes, because these ones will be dealing with civilians.
I don't even think they attempted firing any warning shots.
No, they didn't. Which is what a lot of people don't get. The social media commentary, the fact that policemen came to escort them and all of that, and they were not responding. Somebody even said, so the guns they are carrying, were they toy guns? Let's desist from this kind of commentary. It's not healthy. They did the right thing. They acted professionally. They conducted themselves so well that NIMOS should recommend them for some form of commendation. Look, the fact that they allowed the police to do the job of the police in that circumstance is commendable. And the police also acted well. They also went in, controlled the crowd, and were able to take the military men and the NIMOS operatives away. It's also an excellent thing they did. I think that both police and military on that occasion discharged themselves so creditably well that we have to commend them. But for us to demonstrate that we are serious about this fight against Galamsey, if for nothing at all, well, the other question I had was about the legality or lawfulness of the concession. Whether it's a legal concession, whether they were supposed to be there and all of it. Because the story says information given NIMOS on their way.
If you read the story, nothing shows that when the MP came and all the owners of the site came, they said it was legal. Nobody...
none of them spoke to the legality of the concession. So, even if the concession it's a legal concession, legally awarded, and the work being done there was by the books and by all standards and everything, even if all of those boxes are ticked, we still have to deal with the member of parliament inciting riots, inciting the crowd against an officer's discharge or lawful discharge of his duty. We still have to deal with that.
Yeah.
And the member of parliament should know that he is not above the law. Lives could have been lost. In fact, property was destroyed.
Yes.
The coordinator's car vandalized.
Alaji's vehicle. Rear windscreen was also shattered. In fact, the threat of the mob to burn down the police station.
The member of parliament has to realize the gravity of the work, the the trouble that he incited, unless he is coming to say that, well, he did not incite them.
And it's important that we hear his side as well, because we're seeking to have him share his side of the story as well, because I mean, we have to point out that there's always a danger of a one-sided story in all of these matters, but we will want to hear from him, and we will want to hear from the others as well named, as much as we also want to hear from NIMOS on this particular subject matter, because it is very, very important that balance is brought to this. But I'm just getting word that there's a suggestion he might be arrested or will be picked up soon, as that's the member of parliament.
No, it is necessary.
And as and when that confirmation comes through, we'll let listeners know.
Yeah, so there are two issues, and we need to look at them separately. The issue of mining illegally is there, and then the issue of inciting a riot, damaging property, endangering life. Those are also three other things that in fact are prosecutable in the criminal court. So those are all things that we need to be able to separate the issues and deal with them as they are. That is why I made the point that even if the concession is legal, the operations are by standards and by the book, we still have to deal with this issue. More so because this is not the first operation NIMOS has embarked on. This is not the second. This will not be the last. If this is not dealt with, other communities will learn from this. And by the time we realized, people who are seeking to prevent Galamsey are attacked everywhere. This is actually the second one.
Yeah, the police task force was attacked in the community.
Attacked.
Yeah.
Yes.
They also exercised great restraint.
Yes, and nothing happened in that matter. At least we didn't hear any action taken in that matter. That is why we need some action taken in this matter and revisit that particular incident, so that at least the men and women who are putting their lives on the line for the greater good of the country will not unnecessarily be endangered. There are people's fathers and mothers, aunties and uncles. They are breadwinners for their families. We don't expect people to die in the course of this.
Look at what this does to the morale of the officers who are working on these concerns. I mean, we all know the impact that Galamsey has. I've made myself available, accepted that I'm going to fight it. But when I'm going to fight, these are the obstacles I'm facing, and then nothing is happening to the people who are preventing me from doing what is expected of me. It would talk a lot about the morale of the officers, the military people, the police people who have been asked to do these things.
And we shouldn't pull the card, the parliamentary immunity card. Let's not do that. Let's allow the investigation to flow. Let this matter be settled transparently, so that if for nothing at all, it will boost that collective fight against Galamsey, so that we all know that something is happening. We all see that something is happening. There's also another angle to it, where the member of the Speaker of Parliament is being mentioned. He's shielding people. I think some of the callers brought that up. I'm wondering how we want to blame the Speaker of Parliament.
Oh, no, I'm not. I don't want to be one who. The Speaker will have some role to play, but I don't think immediately he begins to be the one who can take some action against a citizen. There has to be
a right to the Speaker.
Yes,
normally they write to the Speaker.
There has to be a conclusion of investigations even before the Speaker can decide that, okay, based on X and X and X, a member of Parliament will be referred to the Privileges Committee and will.
No, this is not Privileges Committee matter. No, this is a full police matter. It's not Privileges Committee matter.
No, I'm saying.
Indeed, if the House also wants to take a strong stance against Galamsey, and also give that signal that it will not condone its members or protect its members or connive with its members who are caught in the web of Galamsey. If Parliament wants to send that signal, then in addition to all of these investigations, Parliament, the Speaker would then refer the member to the Privileges Committee, which is also like a disciplinary committee, and they will deal with it at that level.
It's in that angle that I was coming from.
Yes, to show that we don't want to be seen as the bad guys here, as we are shielding or we are protecting, or we don't want some action to be taken against Galamsey. And I think that's something that the Speaker may want to consider. But as it stands now, it is not a matter for me that that should be left to Parliament. Let it be dealt with by the police. Let the police handle this matter, and if a prosecution arises, let the prosecution happen, so that we all know that we are in this together. We are fighting this cause together. It's not President Mahama who is sitting in the Flagstaff House and giving orders to Director of Operations who is struggling to bring some sanity, and then we have civil society bashing the president that the president is not doing enough. Let the investigation flow on this particular matter. If for nothing else, let us just see something happen, and something should happen.
Something most certainly should happen and must happen in respect of what it is that we've seen play out on this particular subject matter. And I must mention that we're looking forward to hearing from the Member of Parliament. I think we've been trying this morning as well to connect with the Member of Parliament with respect to this particular subject matter, as well as the other individual who's been named. Not successful just as yet, even as we stress the fact that all angles or all sides of the conversation need to be brought to the fore so that we can properly understand what it is that's played out. But what is the general understanding is that there must be all-round condemnation from the president, the NDC, to whatever. Because on the basis alone, we know that there was the obstruction of arrest. The NIMOS team was locked up somewhere and had to be rescued by the police. That is something that, upon face value, cannot be contested. I'm waiting for a story that can counter why NIMOS was stuck somewhere and people were beating them up. Perhaps investigation will reveal whether or not the MP had a hand in that or not. But all of that requires swift. The police should have been issuing a statement by now as well.
Yeah, I don't know.
The police should have been. The police should have been issuing a statement as well.
The police, the presidency, the MPs in question, their officers, everybody mentioned should be talking. Letters. You are waiting for the tensions to heighten, sir, and then they'll come and say the statement they will even release will be very empty. By the way, but they should say
the way you've drawn the conclusion will be very empty.
They should say something. And it's interesting, if you're looking at the comments on social media, I think the conversation is simple. Something needs to be done. Everybody's tagging President John Dramani Mahama. Everybody's tagging the presidency, Felix Kwachio Fosu, amongst others, that somebody should come and then say something. And the comments too about this MP in question, also very good, blasting him, asking that he comes to defend himself if what they are saying is not true, and that is what he should do. If it's not true, come and say that this is what happened. I did this, I did not do this. Come and explain, come and clear your name. Let the investigations continue.
No, it's only fair.
Don't leave everybody to be talking like that about you if you are innocent.
That's it on the Galamsey. But most certainly, a subject matter that will continue to pick interest, and this matter, in truth, I still simply cannot understand. But I get the indication we're supposed to also engage Nanayo Akwada as well in relation to this, because I know that the Bureau of Public Safety, they've been demanding the immediate arrest. I mean, the arrest there is a starting point, really, for everybody. Arrest, explain yourself, you get bail, and all of those things. That one there is a stat that will satisfy everybody in terms of having us reach a certain level as to whether or not progress will be made. Let me see if I can check the respective social media handles of a number of these agencies to be sure if they've issued a release which we have
missed.
Yes, because the way we are saying there must be some action, some swift word from the police and all of that. I just want to be sure if they have issued a statement which I haven't seen. No, I'm on Facebook and the last release is from 2 days ago. So
that's from the police.
Yes, that's the Ghana Police Service. And so most certainly there hasn't been anything in relation to this particular subject matter. Let me do the presidency, right? The presidency. And I'm checking that as well. Presidency. No, let me do President of Ghana. Perhaps my producer even tells me there's nothing there. Even before I will check, he has done the checking and says there's nothing there. And so most definitely, for all the individuals, Awula Sewa, who's already spoken to us, the slow-paced nature with which we are responding to this particular development is a no-no, and we must do a bit more in terms of the fight against Galamsey, because we are making progress, right? Over the weekend, they said there was arrest of some kingpins, some of which, I mean, I do not know, but they said there was a Burkinabe national.
Yeah, that's the same thing.
It's from the same ground.
It's the
same ground. Yeah. So they picked the Burkinabe national and they were on their way before they went to stop these guys.
So when they picked them, including the foreign national, that's when they asked the people to call the owners. So when the owners came, and then all of this started.
I see.
They are mining 10 meters from the main highway.
Well, a number of the top accounts as well, in terms of government spokespersons and the likes, seem to.
NIMOS has also not spoken.
Exactly.
I'm looking at their Facebook page, and then there's also nothing there.
Zero.
Yes.
Zero. I mean 0 in terms of it, because. And what Sixu said is important. If they had wanted to neutralize the situation, perhaps we'll be having a different conversation this morning. And so it cannot just be that everybody is quiet and we want things to be as if nothing has happened from over the weekend. This is the single biggest blow to the fight against Galamsey under this administration. And if they do not respond in a certain measure, yes, granted, we need to hear the side of the MP as well. Nobody is going to take the fight against Galamsey seriously any longer. On the back of the fact that the president himself saw the need to meet civil society groupings. And I will go back to that point where he made, and perhaps we have to let people listen in. The president said he does not benefit anything. He doesn't receive any benefit whatsoever from Galamsey. And so he doesn't have a basis why he will not fight it or seek to stop it. That alone is enough grounds for us to ask the question, then why are we not hearing anything? Or we are expecting security briefings this morning. And so after security briefings, then the president will say that there is cause for concern and his attention has been drawn to X and X and X, and he's directing, because remember, two executives of the NDC where Iwoko was directed to investigate them over some claims of engaging in Galamsey extortion and what have you. It's been months. We haven't got any update on that front. Surely it cannot be a case of refer and go quiet. Yeah, I mean, it cannot be a case of refer and go quiet, and then everybody else goes to sleep. And so I'm just trying to find the president on him not benefiting anything from activities of Galamsey, as we witnessed when he engaged the civil society groupings.
I'm wondering what Kenachile would say about this, because it falls directly in his purview, and he's been advocating for the arrest of a few people who have been mentioned in previous reports concerning illegal mining. And I'm sure this, he will say, presents a good opportunity for the president to make an example of kingpins, supposed kingpins who are aiding or facilitating illegal mining activities in the country.
Most definitely. Still trying to find that particular one.